Launching a business is exciting, but it's crucial to navigate the ethical and legal side of things. Entrepreneurs face challenges in following both the law and strong moral codes. Understanding these areas can help you avoid costly mistakes and build a business with a good reputation. Here is the question you need to reflect on and answer. How do you become an ethical entrepreneur? Becoming an ethical entrepreneur is not just about making profits, it's about integrating values into the very fabric of your business. This journey begins with self-awareness and a commitment to long-term impact over short-term gains. Here are steps to guide you on the path of ethical entrepreneurship. Define your core values. Before you dive into the business world, take a moment to reflect on what you stand for. What are the non-negotiable values that you want your business to embody? This could range from sustainability, fairness, inclusivity, to transparency. These values will serve as your compass, guiding every decision you make. It's crucial that these values are not just words on a website, but are actively practiced and reflected in how you operate your business, treat your employees, and interact with customers. Commit to transparency and accountability. In today's digital age, consumers are more informed and discerning. They value businesses that are open about their practices, supply chains, and the impact of their products or services. Implementing transparent practices might include openly sharing your successes and challenges, being honest about your product's lifecycle, or publishing annual sustainability reports. Additionally, holding yourself accountable to your ethical commitments, even when it's not convenient or profitable, builds trust and credibility with your stakeholders. Prioritize social and environmental responsibility. Ethical entrepreneurship means recognizing your business's impact on society and the environment and taking deliberate actions to mitigate negative impacts while contributing positively. This could involve adopting sustainable practices, ensuring fair labor practices in your supply chain, or engaging in social initiatives that align with your business values. Remember, ethical entrepreneurship is a journey that involves continuous learning, adapting, and striving to do better. Now, let us discuss about ethical issues in entrepreneurship. Nepotism is a favor given to the immediate relatives, extended families, or family friends in various activities such as business, politics, sports, religion, and others. Similarly, in business, nepotism takes place in hiring job applicants. Often entrepreneurs hire less qualified than more qualified applicants just because they are relatives or close friends. As an entrepreneur, we must choose the best person for every position in our company to ensure its success. Intellectual property is a result of the creative thinking of a person or groups to formulate original ideas, content or products that are legally protected by law. Copyright is the legal right of the owner of the intellectual right. Copyright infringement is the use of a copyrighted work without asking for the permission of the copyright owner. The patent is the granting of a property right to an inventor or creator by the sovereign law. Trademark is a registration that allows the owner to use a name, symbol, image, or jingle on a specific product or services. It prevents others from using it for selling their products or services. If you like to copy a certain logo, image, or content of someone's work, make sure to ask permission from the rightful owner to avoid conflicts. We cannot say that we do not know it because ignorance of the law excuses no one. Entrepreneurs must be mindful of this all the time. Entrepreneurs must treat their employees fairly regardless of their position. Entrepreneurs must not ask too much from their employees as it is considered abuse. Fairness in the workplace is essential for the employees to work productively. All organizations must maintain their integrity when it always comes to the accounting process. However, other companies or organizations practice unethical accounting practices which is called cooking book. They are reporting inaccurate financial statements because they may be wanted to lower their taxes, or they wanted to share a smaller percentage of income with the stockholders. All businesses enter a contract and must have a better understanding of the basic contract concepts. Most businesses are likely to have some collaboration with tort law, part of the law that protects the rights of people not to be harmed physically, financially, or in any other way, such as a breach of privacy. Some parts of the business world are involved in both tort law and contract law, such as litigation involving the wrongful termination of an employee. Whenever entrepreneurs enter contracts, always choose formal contracts rather than informal contracts. This because in formal contracts, entrepreneurs have concrete proof and evidence that may use to testify if ever needed. Contract refers to a promise or a set of the same that can be enforced legally if any of the parties involved violates them. the promises are enforceable if the injured or affected party is allowed to access legal remedies. Whereas tort is any wrongful act that leads to legal liability, it also means an act that infringes on one's rights other than when it's under a contract. Contract law deals with how a valid, enforceable contract is formed and what should happen if the parties to the contract fail to perform as promised. If either party breaches the contract, such as fails to perform their obligation as stated in the contract, the other parties can sue for breach of contract. Typically, damages for a breach of contract are awarded with the goal of compensating the non-breaching party for losses suffered as a result of the breach. Tort law is another body of law that falls within the domain of civil law. It deals with the duty that we all have in our affairs to exercise due care so as not to injure people or damage the property of others. When one person breaches the duty of care, they become liable to pay damages to the party who is injured or whose property is damaged. Tort law is based on the premise that people are liable for their negligent actions, and is a very broad category of law that includes many different types of personal injury claims. Similar to breach of contract damages, tort law aims to compensate victims for any injuries or losses suffered by the negligent acts of another. Fraud takes place when a person deliberately practices deception in order to gain something unlawfully or unfairly. The act of fraud can be classified as either a civil or a criminal wrong. While fraud is most commonly committed to obtain benefits of value, it sometimes occurs solely for the purpose of deceiving another person or entity. For instance, if a person makes false statements, it may be considered fraud, depending on the circumstances. A business that creates or sells products or services must be responsible enough to fully disclose the truth about its products and services. Entrepreneurs should consistently apply ethics in all practices, including truthfulness and full disclosure. Truthful entrepreneurs gain a level of reliability and credibility over time because everything they say and do is consistent and aligned. A conflict of interest is a situation in which a person or an organization is involved in multiple interests in financial investments, work obligations, and personal relationships, and these interests may have a conflict with each other. This is also called competition law. It is created to make sure that one competitor does not abuse his power and position in the business world to restrict competitors' access to the market. Furthermore, this antitrust law is very helpful to small businesses that recently start up their business. It gives small businesses a chance to compete fairly with larger and more established companies. In conclusion, when we do business, we must do it right. We must not practice monkey business at all times. In addition, as we go on with our business venture, challenges are expected, so we must prepare for them. Entrepreneurs must always possess integrity. It is the primary aspect of establishing goodwill.